So the next part is, why don't we give it a scramble and see how the strategy works. So we're going to throw caution to the wind. We're going to do both compy scrambles and dyno scrambles, rather, and 3x3 scrambles. So this is a very typical process that I go through with any kind of twisty puzzle. What might make things difficult, of course, is if the puzzle becomes bandaged. It might mean the algorithms are very difficult. This is actually very much a very standard type of puzzle. There's no bandaging with it. I have complete freedom of all the different moves. So in that way, it's fairly simple working out a solution to these kind of problems, to these kind of puzzles. The next level up would be the process of bandaging. And bandaging has a way of really making a mess out of your strategies. But as this puzzle is not a bandaged one, then it really is a pretty straightforward way of solving that. Just remember the notion of a commutator, doing a move and undoing a move. Whoops. And then finding a way to isolate it with a middle move, and doing a quick commutator of a middle move, undoing the original commutator, and then undoing the middle move. Turn, and done. Now it didn't take me long to figure those algorithms out. All I did was mess around with known commutators. And that's how long it should take you in a standard puzzle to figure that out. So you should be able to buy whichever puzzle you want and work your way through it. Okay, so there it is. What I like about this puzzle, it's a pure puzzle in that it's not a shapeshifter. Again, there's no bandaging. It's just straight twisty puzzle action, so to speak. And the scrambled version of it actually looks pretty impressive, pretty neat. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to try to solve the puzzle kind of intuitively to start off with, and I'm going to use much of the same techniques that I would use for a Rex cube. The difference is that the Rex cube is a pure puzzle, but I'd be kind of doing it with a hybrid, and a hybrid does make it a little bit more complicated. But here's how I would go about it. I'll go ahead and start putting in side by side. We'll just keep doing one side versus another. But to do that, I want to get these guys in first. So here's a black. I'm going to put a brown, rather. I'm going to put another brown one in. It's not this one. Oh, actually it is. Possibly this one. So I'm looking for another dark blue. Now it's not just any dark blue, but I'm just experimenting to see which one, just to get me started. Here's dark blue here. So now there needs to be a pink and dark green. So here's a pink and light blue, so that's not it. Here's a pink and yellow, that's not it. Pink and dark green. So I actually got lucky because it actually works. So you can see this is all in. Now if it didn't work, I'd have to keep fiddling around with different pieces to see which ones to get in the right configuration. So these are in, these are fine, and now I can define the rest of the pink side over here. This belongs here. And now for the final pink, which is this guy here, bump this out of the way, move this in, and move this up. So now this is all in. So I need the other blues. So this belongs here, and the other dark blue, which is right over here. So this is done intuitively, so this is kind of a fun part of the solve. This sticker's coming off over here, so I'm going to want to super glue that guy back on. And this comes over here. Okay, so I've got this side, I've got this side. Now brown, I've got two browns over here. This can move into here, this brown, take it around. This belongs up here, so I'm going to move this down, much like I do with 3x3, and move this over here. So very similar 3x3 strategies here, but it's not exactly the edges of a 3x3. So dark green, right over here, another dark green, so I'm just going to move this into position. Now this is not algorithmic thinking that I'm doing, this is just placing, so this comes to here. So this is going to be like an RIDIRD kind of a thing. See where I'm getting snagged right over here. So move this down, RIDIR, well, D, I guess. So this is fine here. So all these edges, I guess you call them, are in. So now I'm going to start working on these guys. So I want to find the other yellows, which is right here. So I'll just swing this guy in. This is not unlike a Megaminx type solve, another RIDIRD to bring this in, so now that's in. The last one might be a little more difficult. This comes into here. Some more RIDIRDing. RIDIR. So in a way that RIDIRD is another commutator, but just affecting things in a very specific way. So this blue is in. Okay, so I've got these faces here, this, and this in. Let's turn this upside down, and now I got to get this guy in over here. Okay, so let's see. I've got this in, but this is not in, and this is not in. So these two are in. So this is where my 3x3 thinking is coming from. When I have two that are in and two that are not, I'll put the two that are in, one to the right, one to the back, and we'll go R, U, R, I, U, R, 2U, R, I. So now you can see these are lined up all together, so I just have to turn and bang. So just intuitively, I'm able to get these corner pieces in. I'm able to get those in. So well, that was fun. That was a neat little start to it. Now it's a question of putting these guys in. So I'm going to just start placing them intuitively until I can't anymore. And the way that I'm going to do that is the same technique that I did with this, but instead of doing it on 4 sides, or 6 sides rather, I've got to do it with all of these sides. Instead of doing it on 6 sides, it's going to be on 12 sides. Hence the Rex Rhombic Dodecahedron. And because it's rhombic, it doesn't change shapes. Okay, so which should I work on first? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 2 petals in, then line up these 3. Or I can put these 2 in and line up these 3 and slide it in. So I guess we'll start off with green. I don't know why, but I always do that. Well, I know why. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start lining petals up. These 2 can line up with each other like this. Then I'm going to move it into here by doing up, up, down, down. Then I've got to move this back. Up, up, down, down, by the way, is another commutator. And that's how you really navigate your way around these puzzles, pure commutators basically. So these are in. Now I'm going to fill these guys by lining them up, this green. So where's the green center? It's right over here. So I want to start lining this up with these petals. So I'm going to move this into here, then bump it out of the way and move this back. Exactly the same strategy as the Rex. Turn, and this turns back. Okay, now line this up with the other petal, which is here. To bring it in, I go, bam, I'll make a 2U move. Now this has to make its way to here. I'm just going to move this into confirmation. Up, up, down, down. Move it back, and now double turn this back. So now I've got the first side. Okay, so we're going to keep following suit. Why don't we hit this one? Where's the other small petal or large petal? Take this and move this to here. Up, up, down, down. All right, now that I have that, remember this was a turn, so I can turn this over here. Now with this over here, I'm going to double turn this like so. Splat. These 2 are lined up, and I got to bump them out of the way. And I can do that by going down, down, up, up. Puts this over here. Double turn this back, and I also have to move this guy back here as well. Okay. So these guys are all in. I just have to move them into here. All right. Up, up, down, down, move this guy back. All right, these are in. Now I've got to line up, put these small petals together. So this will find its way, find a home over here. I gotta move this to here, up, up, down, 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 up, up. So I'm gonna take this center, line it up with this, up, up, down, down, bring this back. Now find the other petal, which happens to be here. So I want to move this guy out. So I shall, down, down, up, down, down. Now this guy will move into here, and I can slide him into here, up, up, down, down. And I'm going to slide him back. Okay, so now I've got the second side. So here's maybe another opportunity. I like to fill this white one into here, which obviously got out of sorts. So what I'm going to do is I need to take this, and this doesn't belong here anyway, so why don't I move this here and then here. I just have to find my way home. This will come over to here, and I should be able to find it from there. Then organize the algorithm, this to here, this to here, and this to here. So R, U, R, I, UI, down, back, up, U, R, UI, RI, down, across, up. Okay, now it's just a matter of finding my way back home. This goes here, and this goes here. So now this is in. So now looking at it, really this and this need to exchange. So the way I'm going to do this is let's move this. Remember, this has to go where this is. Move this down here, and now move this over here. So I have to remember to move the purple back. I'm going to turn it like this. This will go here, this will go here, and this will go here. So one roll of this algorithm, RU, RI, UI, down, back, up, U, R, UI, RI, down, across, up. Okay, let's move this over to here, and we'll move this over to here. So that's really what I wanted to achieve. I messed up the centers, but that's actually okay. I've got all these guys in. So now it's a matter of doing algorithms to get these in. And that's where I'm going to go next. I'm not going to worry about the centers. So this other one, this will go here, this will go here, this will go here. So I don't want this to play, I want this to come here. So that way this will go here, this will go here, and this will come up here. Exactly kind of what I wanted to do. So let's remember this particular algorithm, and that's going to go RU, RI, UI. Now it's this one here that goes down, across, up, U, R, UI, RI, down, back, up. And now we turn this over to here. So that placed this one and that placed this one. So we keep carefully trying to 3-cycle these in order to get things where they need to be. So for instance, this will come to here, which is what we want. So if I turn this over here, this will go here, this will go here. We don't want to move that around. So we may want to coordinate this a little bit differently. Okay. Okay, as I start repositioning things, I'm trying to see how we can move these in order. This needs to go to where the black is. So what if I move this, do a 3 by 3 move over here? So this green, and then I come down to here. So this green will go here, which is where it wants to be. It's going to be right here. So this to here, this to here. So I'm doing a blue for blue. This to here, this to here, this to here. So at least I'll put one in. So that's going to be RU, RI, UI, down, across, up, UR, UI, RI, down, back, up. Now before anybody else gets hurt, I'm going to move this over to here and this across over here. So it did place that green. So I'm just kind of placing them one by one, trying to get myself to the last 3 cycle. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 that still need to come in. So alternatively, I want to get this black into here. So what if I move them up to here, but this white will participate? So if I move this up to here, this pink, which really doesn't play a role here anyway, will participate, so we don't care. So this twice will end up here, this twice will end up here, which is what we want. So we'll put 2 in. So we're going to do RU, RI, UI, down, across, up, UR, UI, RI, down, back, up. And again, RU, RI, UI, down, across, up, U, R, UI, RI, down, back, and up. Okay, so these are placed. So now I just have 3 more. Now notice I messed up the centers, but again, doesn't really matter, and if it kind of freaks me out, I can try to get it back in. This can go here, this brown one can go here, and this blue can go up here. So why don't we get this back in just for the sake of it. This one's going to be RU, RI, UI. Now this one's going to move down, across, up, U, R, UI, RI, down, back, and up. So you can see these are moved in, and this is moved back over here. So no worries, you have to be a master of your algorithms. Now we want to get these petals in. So let's see, maybe I can reconstruct this a little bit. Do the right side. This to here, this to, what I want to do is I want to move this guy to here. And the way that I'm going to do that is do a skew move, turn this here, and then turn this here. Now that's a long way out, so I got to remember to move this red one back and then try to find my way back home. So let's just do it and then worry about it later. So we've got RU, RI, UI, down, back, down, across, up, UR, UI, RI, down, back, up. And I think we got to do it once more. RU, RI, UI, down, across, up, UR, UI, RI, down, back, up. And that looks pretty good. Now to find our way home, I believe we turn this over here. And then I believe we turn this, nope. We turn this over, nope. think we turn this over here. Then we turn this over here. Aha! And this over here. Okay, so we've got all these in. Now we just have to do the centers. Centers were the simplest of it. Well, it's not really any simpler than the others, but it's pretty simple. So we want to move this to here, this yellow one to here, here. Okay, and if we move this down here, then we should be okay. So do the algorithm twice to move this all the way down here. This will come all the way up here. Well, this will come here rather, and this will come down to here. Well, let's do it once and see what happens. So we've got R, U, R-I, U-I, down, across, up, U, R, U-I, R-I, down, back, up. Okay, we've got this one in, so let's move them, try to get ourselves back home. This to here, and this to here. Okay, now I want to move this here to get the purple one in. This will go to here, this will go to here, this will go up here. Now wouldn't it be nice if I can move the blue one in, if I can find it. I'm just going to go 1, 2. So that'll move this blue one in here. So we've got R-U, R-I, U-I, down, across, up, U, R, U-I, R-I, down, back, up. So this is in. So I'm going to go kersplat, move this back over here, and we should be getting it in. Am I down to the last 3? No, not quite yet. But this will go here, this will go here, this will go here. Actually, if we do it twice, I'll be able to get the red one in and the yellow one in. So R-U, R-I, U-I, down, across, up, U-R, U-I, R-I, down, back, up. And again, R, U, R-I, U-I, down, across, up, U, R, U-I, R-I, down, back, up. Okay, we should be down to the last 3. This, and where is the other one? Knowing my luck, it's all the way around the other side of the puzzle. Oh, okay. An interesting little parity here. This and this have to be swapped. Did not anticipate that. That's going to be difficult. So all that means is that I need to make sure that any one of them doesn't go in. So I need a 4th one. That's very strange. These two have to be flip-flopped. So how did that happen, and how do I get out of this? So I've been playing around with this, and I find that no matter how much I swap these guys or these guys, I can't seem to swap 2 of these. So here's my suspicion. I've actually run across this before, and that was when doing the Rex cube. In solving the outer parts here, I found myself solving it in the opposite direction, which means sometimes this goes here and this is put over here. And then as I try to solve everything, I find that the centers don't match, because when I put this here and this here, everything else follows suit, except 2 centers are off, as opposed to 3 centers. So my suspicion is that something like that happened with this too, which means that if I were to pick a side, these 2 belong here and these 2 belong here. And I went through the entire puzzle and found that everything was fine until I tried to actually place the centers, and the centers didn't work. Now I usually don't walk into that mistake, because when I solve this, after I do the dino solve, I actually place the centers first to see if it makes sense. If it doesn't, then I've got to redo it. So my suspicion is I've got to take these pieces, move them over here, move this over here, solve the entire puzzle again, and then see if I can get that in. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to go ahead and replace these, put these over here, and resolve it, because there's just no way to cause this kind of a swap. And what that entails is this is going to move to here simply by going turn and turn. And now this is going to go over here, by going turn and turn. And now I'm just going to follow suit with the rest of them and go through the extreme joy of solving this puzzle again, but in an opposite configuration. So I'm going to be turning, this guy's going to have to come down to here, I think. Turn and turn. And now I'm going to put the other red one. Unfortunately, it means really putting things out, but that's okay. I appear to have no choice. And turn. So, on this rock, I will build my church. On this pattern, I'm going to go ahead and put this in, and I'm not even going to bother putting the centers in, which is what I should have done to begin with to calibrate it. And I'll come back to see if that actually worked. Okay, so I redid it basically by flip-flopping these guys to these guys, and I finally ended up with what is a 3-cycle. So basically, I did the entire solve. Everything seemed fine, and I didn't know that things were placed strong until I got to the last 2 centers. So this just goes to show that even if you have all the algorithms worked out and you think you have everything fine, until you actually solve the puzzle, you might encounter things you didn't anticipate.
Awesome.
So for this last one, I'm going to actually move this to here. So I'm 1 3-cycle away from solving this. 1 algorithm, this to here, this to here, this to here. So let's do it. We've got RU, RI, UI. This is center rotation, so we'll move this down, across, and up. Then reverse what we did. U, R, UI, RI. Then down, back, and up. And now we simply move this back, this way, and it's done. So the puzzle is solved, finally. So once again, this really goes to show, and the whole point of this was to come up with, first off, characterizing what kind of a puzzle this was.
That's cool.
And to come up with algorithms based upon a simple commutator of doing moves and undoing moves, finding a middle move that isolates a piece, then doing another quick little commutator that replaces it with another piece, and then undoing the original move. Put it all together and you have an algorithm. So start off with like an RU, RIUI, and just kind of analyze the pieces and see what movements you can make. Because notice I really had 3 different algorithms that were very derivative of each other. They all started the same, and all I had to do was focus on where I was going to isolate pieces. And in so doing, you can start to get a knack for solving these puzzles to where it actually becomes kind of like second nature to use these things. So and that way you don't have to memorize algorithms. As a matter of fact, if I put this puzzle away and come back to it, I could refer to this video to figure out what it was that I did, or what's even more fun is just rederive it because it really wasn't that difficult to begin with. So there you have it. In the future, if you're interested in learning about the approach to different puzzles, I'm more than happy to continue that process, taking a puzzle that even if most people don't have, still looking to see how we come about commutators and algorithms to solve it. In any case, thanks for watching.